Hey mama, hey mama, hey mama, hey mama, let's go. Hey mama, let's go. What up, 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 what up? You guys are like, oh my God, this guy is crazy. Who is this crazy guy? Why is he so crazy? Well, look, man, I'm crazy because, golly, I have missed being right here on this show with you. That's right. I have missed it so stinking much. You have no idea, man. You have no idea. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, who misses? Where's my phone, bro? Where's my phone? That's weird. Okay. I've got the one phone over here tick-tocking, but I don't know where my phone is, which is so strange. I've had it all morning. I don't know. I used the restroom right when I came in. I wonder if I set it down. I don't know. I don't know. But without my phone, it's a little bit more challenging for me to be able to see who is here and watching the show today. But I guess we'll just have to pivot a little bit and we'll have to figure it out, right? That's just how it works sometimes. Sometimes we gotta figure it out. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday. That's right. Today is Monday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you, as they say. Today is Monday, May 4th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be. Monday, May 4th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most, of this absolutely incredible day. Hey, my name is Glenn Lundy, husband to one, father to nine, and the host of this incredible show, hashtag Rise and Grind. I'm super excited that you're here to join me. Let's dive in. Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to one, father to nine, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, yo. Good morning. My name is Glenn Lundy, coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. That's right, where it is storming big time outside right now. I wasn't expecting that, wasn't anticipating that. All of a sudden, I'm just sitting here building out my show this morning, and all of a sudden, I'm hearing like... And being a musical person like my friend Marilyn Wilkin, all of a sudden, like, and the thunder rolls, popped into my head, right? And the thunder rolls, bam, and the thunder. Okay, but we're not going to get into that. But that's what popped into my head this morning. Thunder rolls. As soon as I heard it outside, and super excited to be here. Speaking of music that just pops into your head, last night I had the opportunity to go to the movie with my kids. We went and saw the new movie, Michael. That's right, Michael. The movie about Michael Jackson, and I gotta tell you, man, they really focused on the early Michael Jackson. They focused on his relationship with his dad and how that was strenuous. They focused on how he was able to take his career with the Jackson 5 to the top and then ultimately take ownership of his own career and go solo. Lots of music, lots of time on the stage, lots of like concert feel, so on and so forth. I was there with my kids. It was freaking great, man. It was great. They didn't get into any of the controversy. They didn't get into any of the stuff later in his life. Just the story of going from a weird little kid into a weird little man that did amazing things when it came to music. But it was super cool. If you get a chance, go check it out. But listen, I am back in Lexington, Kentucky, after an epic West Coast journey. That's the only way to describe it. It was an epic West Coast journey. Did you guys see how I did that? For those of you watching on Facebook, you have no idea. Anyways, I'm not even going to tell you. If you're listening to the podcast, you missed it. So, epic journey, bro. Epic journey to the West Coast. And before I get into too much of that, I just want to give a shout out to Heather Parody right now. Thank you so much, Heather Parody, for holding down the fort the last 2 weeks. Like, it's a big ask, bro. It is a big ask. When you ask somebody to take over this show, you're like, hey, I need you to change your entire life. That's literally what you're asking somebody. You're like, hey, my name's Glenn, and I'm your friend. Thank you, Liza. I appreciate that. Hey, my name's Glenn, and I'm your friend, and I need you to do something for me. They're like, yeah, sure, Glenn, what can we do for you? And I'm like, well, what you can do for me is you can wake up at like 4 o'clock in the morning every day, Monday through Friday, completely mix up your morning routine and what you would normally do in the morning. And then I need you to go live on camera in front of about 1,000 people each day. I need you to go live on camera, bring the energy, do a show, so on and so forth, and then your friend's like, how long do you want me to do it? And I'm like, oh, well, just, for 2 weeks. How's 2 weeks sound? How about you do that every single day for 2 weeks? Go live in front of 1,000 people at 5:30 in the morning Eastern time. Like, it's a big ask. It really is. And so shout out to Heather Parody for holding down the fort, keeping this space. I really, really, really greatly appreciate it. It's so amazing to have a trusted friend that I know I can throw into this space, and she's going to serve it well, man. She's going to serve it well. I got to watch Monday's episode, Tuesday's episodes, Wednesday's episode. I have been crazy during this last 2 weeks. Those are the only 3 episodes I saw so far. I'll go back and watch the other 7. But the feedback I got from you guys, which is the second moment of gratitude I want to say this morning, is thank you guys so much, my OGs, those of you that are always here, that are showing up. Thank you so much for being a part of this show, man. Like, it's one thing to ask Heather to show up every single day for 2 weeks. It's also another thing to ask you to give me the grace and the space to be able to be gone for 2 weeks so that I can go do the things that I need to do. You guys gave me grace, you gave me space, and I got a lot of feedback that Heather crushed it while I was gone. So I'm looking forward to going back and watching those episodes. But shout out to all the OGs. Shout out to Scott Simon. Shout out to Jeremy Nolan. Shout out to Mike Larkin. Shout out to Marilyn Wilkin. Shout out to Liza Borges. Shout out to Kevin Masha Antonio. Shout out to Tanya Robinson, my Clubhouse folks. Right, all my Clubhouse folks, Robert, oh my gosh, why am I, Pollard, I don't know why my brain just blanked on your last name, Robert. Shout out to Robert Pollard, shout out to all the OGs, like, you guys are what make this thing special. So, looking forward to going back there. Before we go too far, I just wanted to take some time and say thank you to Heather Parody. You are a rock star. Now, listen. This trip that I just went on was crazy, bro. It was me and my 2 daughters, Meredith and Willow. Willow is 12 years old. Meredith is 10 years old. Now, for a lot of people, running solo with 2 kids, traveling, for some of you, you're like, holy smokes, dude, that alone is a big deal. For a guy like me, that's less than 25% of my brood. That's less than 25%. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to roll with just 2. That's not a big deal for a guy like me. And I don't want to say however, because it ended up being great. With that said, it was me plus 2, and we went to 7 different cities. 7 different cities that we were like actively a part of. That doesn't include all the cities that we flew past or drove past or whatever, flew through, right? 7 cities, 11 days, 3 amazing parks, 3 different amazing parks. We hit Disney, we hit Grand Canyon, we hit Legoland. So three different really cool, amazing parks over those 11 days, right? Hold on, I got to make sure TikTok ain't doing nothing crazy. Okay. Sometimes it does some little crazy stuff. All right. So we hit all the different cities, 11 days, 3 major parks across that period of time. There were hikes. Beautiful, amazing, incredible hikes. We had our dealer retreat, our 800% Club dealer retreat. So there was 4 days where we were surrounded by about 75 of our closest friends. That part was super fun, right? There were hikes. There was yoga, right? There was a sunrise yoga session that was absolutely amazing that my kids were a part of as well. There was pickleball. Yes, we're going to go into more on that here in just a minute. But there was pickleball. There was a lot of pickleball. There was a moment where Sharon Lecter, a woman who has participated in the sale, co-authored, sold over 55 million books. Sharon Lecter came and spoke at an event. My kids got to be a part of that. A guy named Scott Flansburgh was a part of our event. He is known as the human calculator. If you ever get a chance to look him up. My friend Kristen Kingsbury came and spoke at our retreat. She was incredible. This trip also included a tank museum. I don't know if you've ever been to a tank museum, but there was a tank museum that was amazing. There was a boat show, like the biggest boat show that Lake Havasu has every year. We're talking nonstop boats from sunup to sundown in the channel, bazillion-dollar boats. It was amazing, absolutely incredible. Then, of course, there was the beach. There was the time with all of our different 800% Club members. There was 4 different hotels that we were in. 4 different hotels. There was 15 hours of driving in a Jeep Wrangler. There were different swimming pools. There was candy. There was treats. There was snacks. There was 7-mile runs on the beach. There was fitness centers. There was gyms. There was an injury that I had to work through in my right calf muscle. There was a guy we saw on the beach who meditated for 12 hours straight in one spot. Dude did a 12-hour meditation. We witnessed it. There was another dude on the beach doing kung fu. Of course, there was the surfing. I mean, golly, dude. It was an amazing trip. It was an amazing trip. And there were a lot of lessons that I learned along the way. And so I'm not going to sit here and just bore you with a bunch of slideshow photos. Remember how they show that in the TV shows all the time? They're like, oh, man, good. You know, yeah, we got to bring out the family photos and so on and so forth. No. But there are some life lessons that were learned over this last week, and I'm going to share some of those with you. Ramon just landed. Ramon Ray, thanks for being in the building. There was a lot of lifelong lessons that were learned, and I'm going to share some of those with you today right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Before we go too far, though.
Yo, check the blue. Brick by brick, yeah, that.
I can't find the right Bible. There we go. Before we go too far, you know what we got to do. We got to do some dancing on this show. That's right. For those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or you're watching this show on replay, say what's up, and I will say what's up back. Does that sound fair? Does that sound fair? Especially you folks, not especially, but you folks on replay, if you don't say what's up, I don't know you here. I don't know. Those of you that are live, I can see you pop in and out. But those of you that are on replay, if you don't say what's up, I don't see you, bro. That's how it works. Good morning, Mike Larkin. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Suzanne Waugh. Thanks for being in the building. Great to see you. Wendy Reeves is up in here. Great to see you, Wendy Reeves. How you doing, Spencer Nicholson? Great to see you, Spencer. Russell Hill is in the building. What's up, Russell Hill? Bill Harrison is up in here. Dude, Bill Harrison was with me in Scottsdale, Arizona. He got a tattoo, the first tattoo of his life. What an amazing moment. We'll talk about that a little bit for sure. Nathaniel Banks, good morning. Thank you for being here. Marilyn Wilkin, good morning. Thank you for being here. Russell Hill is in the building. Thanks for being here, Russell Hill. Spencer Nicholson. Did I already say Spencer Nicholson? If so, I'm saying it twice today. Nathaniel Banks, thanks for being in the building this morning. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? It's hard to see. It's different than on my phone. Michael Barrick is in the building. Thanks for being here, Michael Barrick. I greatly appreciate it. Tara Hope is up in here this morning. Trisha Rue is up in here this morning. Youngin Johnson. What's up, Youngin Johnson? Thanks for being here. Tony Schmidt is in the building. Trisha Rue, I already said woohoo, or I already said hello to you, Trisha Rue, but she just said woohoo. So Salcido is in the building. Thank you so much for being here. Jeremy Nolling, great dad-daughter time. I know you're a fan, bro. I see you traveling around the world with your daughters and doing all the cool stuff with, or not your daughters, your daughter and her friends doing all the cool stuff with them. It's freaking awesome to see, brother. It's awesome to see. Hey, real quick note. We are coming up on our free. That's right, free. I don't know why we do these free. We should sell these, but we do them for free. For some reason, this year, God put it on my heart to do things a little bit differently. So we have a free workshop May 19th through 20th in Lexington, Kentucky. If you are in sales, have people that you lead that are in sales, this is a workshop for sales people here in Lexington, Kentucky. In person only, no online. All you got to do is show up. May 19th and 20th, Lexington, Kentucky, May 19th and 20th. If you go to 800%.life/events, 800%.life/events, you can get more information. Jump in, come join me. I will be here teaching in that class, as well as my buddy Sam Cox and my buddy Evan Walters. We will be teaching together. Me and the girls. Scottsdale, Arizona, 800% Club Retreat, 2026. Epic, bro. Absolutely epic. So, for those of you that maybe don't know, I own a company that does training and consulting in the automotive space. It's called 800% Elite Automotive Club. I work with owners and general managers of car dealerships all across the country, helping them scale their business, focusing in three primary areas: inventory, marketing, and the simple processes, systems and processes that they put in place for their people. Twice a year, we have our 800% Club retreats. Now, these retreats are off-site, different locations around the country. And at these retreats, we do some pretty crazy things. We bring everybody together. It's Tuesday evening through Thursday afternoon. We bring everybody together in one of these locations, off-site somewhere. And Tuesday night, we have some sort of welcome reception. It's always a good time. And then typically that Wednesday morning, I'll challenge them to come do a sunrise hike with me. So this year, we went out into the desert where there are rattlesnakes and cactuses and so on and so forth. And while we were out there in the desert for this incredible hike, which there was about 45 of us that went out, we had to get up at 4:30 in the morning. We had to leave the hotel before 5, in order to be able to catch the sunrise from the peak, right? Sunrise is at like 5:40. So we'll do some sort of hike, so on and so forth. So we did that. We did the hike, which there were a lot of lessons to be learned just from the hike, and I'm going to go into that a little bit later this week. A lot of lessons that could be learned from being out in the desert. But at every retreat, we'll do something like that. We'll do some sort of hike or something like that. And then we have speakers that come in. Like I told you, Sharon Lecter came in this year. Scott Flansburgh came in this year. Kristen Kingsbury came in for this particular retreat. And so we'll have speakers and we'll have classes and we'll have lessons and so on and so forth. We'll network and we'll learn from each other. We do breakfast together, lunch together, dinner together, all the things. And then we always have some sort of excursion at these retreats. Now, our excursions have ranged from racing Lamborghinis in the hills of Colorado to racing sailboats off the coast of Florida to kayaking in brackish waters to whitewater rafting to renting out a theme park. We had the entire Six Flags theme park in San Antonio that we rented out. We've done, you name it, all kinds of crazy experiences, events. Go-kart, we rented out the go-kart track in Atlanta. We've done indoor skydiving. There's so many different things that we've done on our retreats. But what we found is we tend to have the most fun when we not just go do some sort of experience, but when we actually pin our dealers against each other. That's what we found creates the most amazing memories, is when we give our dealers an opportunity to compete against each other to beat it. Now, this is an amazing community. Everybody loves each other, and we're all in the car business, and we all support each other. And at the same time, everybody wants to win in this group. It is a group of people who want to win. And so what we decided we were going to do at this particular event is we decided we were going to have a pickleball tournament. Because here in Scottsdale, Arizona, at this resort that we were at, they had 6 pickleball courts. So we decided we were going to have a pickleball tournament. And during this pickleball tournament, what we would do is we decided what we would do is we would randomly take people who know how to play pickleball, and we would pair them with people who don't know how to play pickleball. And so right at the beginning, I was like, hey, who's played pickleball before? And I separated everybody into 3 groups. Group number 1 were the people who's played pickleball more than 10 times in their life. Group number 2 were people who had played pickleball between 1 and 9 times in their life. And group number 3 were people that had never played pickleball before. And I put them all into ChatGPT and said, hey, we're going to have a pickleball tournament. I need you to randomly pair these people. I want you to put people who have never played before with the most experienced people as much as humanly possible. And then the ones that are in the middle that have played 1 to 9 times, pair them accordingly, so on and so forth. The only thing that I set, the only team that was not completely 800% random, the only team that was not completely 800% random was my daughter, Meredith, who's 10 years old. She specifically requested a partner. She said that she wanted her partner to be Frank Zombo. Now, Frank Zombo, if you look him up, go ahead and Google Frank Zombo. What you're going to find is Frank Zombo played in the NFL for 9 years. Frank Zombo won a Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers. Frank Zombo then played for the Kansas City Chiefs up until the first year that Patrick Mahomes was a Chief. So my daughter Meredith has had the opportunity to meet Frank before at a couple other events, and she said she wanted Frank to be her partner at pickleball. And so I told the AI, I said, I want you to put Meredith, the 10-year-old, I want you to put the 10-year-old with Frank Zombo, the retired NFL football player. And so other than that, AI randomly chose all the teams based on skill levels, and we had a total of 22 teams, so 44 people that were playing pickleball, and we had this pickleball tournament. And in the pickleball tournament, it was an epic battle that lasted just over 3 hours. We started at 9 in the morning, finished just after noon. There was some scrapes. There was some diving on the floor going on. There was some frustrations between certain people. There was epic moments. There was all of the things. But when it all came down to it, it came down to the final four teams. And when it got down to the final four teams included me and a guy named Frank Knox. We were still in it. Richard, my buddy Richard Slay, who I think I have a picture of him right here. Richard Slay and a guy named James Mercer from Ascent Dealer Services. And then you had, who was the other team? There was, I can't remember exactly who the other team was. Might have been Tustin's son and his partner, which was Lamont. Yep, Tustin's son and Lamont. And then Meredith and Frank. Meredith and Frank. After this is a double elimination tournament. I mean, we're playing game after game after game after game after game. We're out there in the heat, right? This is Phoenix, Arizona, and my 10-year-old is holding her own, and her and Frank, it's down to 4 teams. So we play Frank and Richard, and then play Lamont and them, and we lose. Me and Frank Knox, which Frank Knox is a big old dude, we lose to my daughter Meredith and Frank Zombo. It was incredible. It was one of those things where, I wanted to win, but at the same time, I didn't want my daughter to lose. So, it was kind of a crazy moment. But she wins, and they go on to the finals. Now, in the finals, it was double elimination. So James and Richard had to get beat twice in the finals, and Frank and Meredith had already had one loss they had taken earlier in the thing. And so they had to beat them twice. They beat them the first time 11-4, and then they played them the second time and ultimately lost. So Frank and Meredith took second in the tournament. Richard and James took first in the tournament. We donated $3,000 to their charities of choice, and of course there was the coveted trophy that came along with it. It was just an incredible experience. But I share all this with you because out of all the epic battles, the thing that I took away the most, the piece of this that was most memorable to me, was the way that both Frank and Meredith handled this whole thing. I mean, Frank, think about the competitor that Frank is. This guy's a 9-year NFL, retired from the NFL. He's won a Super Bowl. He's super competitive. He gets paired up. Frank Zombo gets paired up with a 10-year-old. This is a grown folks, adult pickleball tournament with some of these guys play pickleball 3-4 hours a day every day. And imagine being Frank. Here you are in this competitive situation with all these adults, and you get stuck with a 10-year-old. The odds are stacked against him, and Frank knew that going in. But here's what I loved about what Frank did, and I think it's a lesson for everybody. Dude, when life hands you what might seem like a raw deal, or when life hands you something that seems unfair, dude, you just have to own it. You just have to own it. Dude, here's what Frank did, and I watched this guy the entire time. Frank never once was like, oh, woe is me, I've got the 10-year-old on my team. No. Frank immediately was like, all right, Meredith, let's go. All right, Meredith, let's go. All right, Meredith, we're going to do this. Let's go. I mean, he grabbed a paddle, he grabbed a ball, and he ran off to a side court while we were still setting it up for everybody else. He ran off to a side court, and he started practicing with her. He started practicing like he wanted to know exactly what her skill set level was, if she had any skills at all, so that he could then take his skill set and figure out where it fits in with hers so that he could make sure they could compete. He didn't complain about it. He didn't sit back and say, oh, this sucks. Oh, there's no way that we can win. No, dude, he immediately assessed the situation. And while doing so, as soon as he started to assess the situation, he was like, okay, this is what I got to do, and this is what she's got to do. Then all of a sudden, he started to elevate her. He didn't say, hey, guess what, Meredith? I'm the football player. I'm the NFL football player, and I know how to play pickleball, and I'm really good at it, which he is super competitive. He plays pickleball now, like competitively. No. He didn't say, hey, Meredith, you're smaller and you're weaker, and so I'm going to take charge of this whole thing. No, he didn't do all of that. He was like, hey, Meredith, all right, here's what we're going to do. You and I together, we're going to freaking crush this. I'm going to need you. I'm counting on you. You're a big part of this team. Can't win without you. Like, he included her in every aspect of this. Golly. Sorry, I just got emotional. Dude, he included her in every aspect. Just like he would have if she was another professional football player. He looked at her for who she was, which is this expansive child of God. He didn't look at her as some limited 10-year-old. And bro, like, he honored my daughter is what he did. He made whatever adjustments he needed to make so that they could compete. And in doing so, he honored my daughter, never making her feel small, never making her feel less than, never making her feel like she didn't belong. As a matter of fact, he did the exact opposite. And because of that, dude, they almost won the whole freaking thing. I need you to understand the level of competitiveness of this group of people. These are car dealers. These are gritty millionaire. In a lot of cases, these are gritty millionaire car dealers. Competitive at everything that they do. Ask Liza. Ask Scott how competitive this space is. Ask Wendy. Ask Mike Larkin. And because he was willing to assess the situation, not complain about it, because he elevated my daughter and honored who she was, not belittled or made her small, they almost won the whole freaking thing, dude. So here it is now, my daughter, dude, she's got this incredible core memory. She gets to tell the whole world how she beat her dad in a pickleball tournament. She gets to tell the whole world how she got to play pickleball as the partner of a NFL football player, right? A guy who has a Super Bowl ring, a guy who played 9 years in the NFL competitively at a super high level. Not only does she have this core memory, but in that being made, Frank showed us all like how we should all aim to be in life. Like, not just for the kids. How much further could we get if we would elevate each other versus belittling each other? How much further could we get if we would encourage each other versus putting each other down? How much further could we go if we would look at the situations in life and honor them for what they are versus complaining about them for what they're not? And then what did Meredith teach us from this situation? Well, she taught us that we need to choose our allies carefully. She was adamant that this was who she wanted to play with. She taught us that we need to choose our allies carefully. Meredith also taught us that we need to never, ever back down to a challenge. You're the smallest on the court, who cares? You're the youngest on the court, who cares? You're the least talented, the least physically, whatever, dude. Who cares? 43 adults in competition. And she stepped right up, dude. Like, this is who I'm being a part of this. And I think the last lesson, and there's much more we'll probably go into through the week, but I also was reminded through Meredith that you and I, dude, we are not our bodies, bro. Like, we are capable of so much more. You and I are expansive. We are children of God, the God of the universe, the God that made everything. And that God made you and I to be the best versions of ourselves we could possibly be. Not average versions, not a little bit above average, not a little bit below average, but the absolute best versions of ourselves that we could possibly be. And I don't care what you say. I don't care who you are. I don't care what age you are. I don't care how you feel about your knees or your neck or your back or your circumstance or your situation or where you were born or your finances or who gives you the opportunity or who doesn't give you the opportunity or whatever. Like, I don't care. I don't care, dude. I don't care. You are not that. What's up, Anthony Algona? You are not that. And my daughter reminded me at 10 years old in a pickleball tournament in Scottsdale, Arizona. She reminded me that there are no limits, only the ones in our minds. Choose your allies. Face the battles. Surround yourself with people like Frank that are going to lift you up, that are going to encourage you, that are going to celebrate you, that are going to honor you, that are going to bring you in, not try to take you out. Bro. And when you do, you can write stories. God allows us to write stories that can inspire others, just like these stories inspired me and hopefully inspired you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have missed you so much. I can't tell you, I was so excited to wake up at 3:50 a.m. today to come back and join you right here on #RiseandGrind. Whether you're watching on TikTok or you're listening on YouTube or listening to the podcast or you're watching on YouTube or you're with us right here on Facebook, I just want you to know I absolutely stinking love you. I do. I love you. And it's because I love you, I'm here to look you in the face and tell you those excuses that you're making, it's time to throw them out, bro. What's up, Kurt? Great to see you. How you doing, Denny? Great to see you. Tosh Queen, thanks for being here. Sean Weatherby, thanks for being here. Those excuses you're making, it's time to throw them out, dude. Like, let's just be real. My name is Glenn, and I'm your friend. Let's get rid of the excuses, and let's start doing the things that we know God will allow us. I don't want to say allow. That's not the right word. Start doing those things on your heart that you know you need to do, bro. Start like expand those dreams. Reach higher. You've got more in the tank, I promise. If the 10-year-old could make it to the finals, man, let's go. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I got to get to the gym. Count down the days. I'm 5 weeks away from my High Rocks competition in New York. So I've got some intensive training to do over the next 5 weeks. I got to lose a few pounds and tone some things out. So I'm going to get to the gym. I'll probably hop over onto Clubhouse for a little while as well. If you guys want to join me over on Clubhouse, you're welcome to do so. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again right here on #Rise and Grind.
Yo, check the blueprint. It ain't about the mountain, it's about the steady hand. Foundation is key, solid. Mind stay focused, every single day is a test. Clocking in the labor, while the others wanna rest. One step, one motion, put the weight on the frame. Structure of a titan, yeah, I'm building the name. It's the ritual, the visual, the logic is sound. Steady rising up from the cracks in the ground. Keep it consistent, yeah, the rhythm is tight. Locking it in, working deep in the night, working deep in the night. Brick, brick,